Hi guys, today is Freight Broker Friday. Today we're going to basically talk about how to build relationships with carriers. If you do have a freight brokerage or even if you're an agent, we're kind of going to talk more about how you can actually build that relationship. Of course, before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click on the bell to receive the notifications. If you like the video, please like and share it on your social media, Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Bumblebee Dispatch. You can follow me on Instagram at Miss Petty85. And of course, you can contact us via the website, social media, or info@bumblebeedispatch.com. Again, it's Freight Broker Friday, every Friday at 7 p.m. Make sure you tell your friends. We will have a new video uploaded. And then if you are in the trucking industry or you have your own trucking company or anything, just make sure on Tuesdays you tune in for a Truckers Tuesday, basically. Alrighty, so how to develop relationships with carriers. So, if you have your own brokerage, one of the biggest things is you want to make sure that you pay those carriers on time. Paying them on time will really make them happy for one. A lot of the carriers do have something called a factoring company, but if you have a new brokerage, a lot of times you don't have any credit history or credit rating or what have you. So a lot of the carriers factoring company may not accept you. So if the carrier doesn't load from you, they may need to get a quick pay, which basically means, you pay them within a day or 2 or 3 days. And they also may need something called a fuel advance. With a fuel advance, basically, once that driver gets loaded and he picks that load up, he may need fuel to get the load delivered. There are different ways you can set up a fuel advance, and we may do a video later about that. In different companies you can go through to get that set up. But one of the biggest things carriers talk about is how brokers pay. So if you pay them fast, on time, and well, then, they're going to tell other people, hey, I ran a load for such and such brokerage and they paid me on time. So just make sure that you do pay the carriers on time. Next is communication. This is very imperative. Make sure that once you create a rate confirmation, guys, whatever software you have, you create that rate confirmation. Just make sure that you also call the driver to go over the rate confirmation. A lot of times, we as brokers, we can get very busy and we're just emailing the rate confirmations over. Okay. If that company has something called a dispatcher, then the dispatcher may have missed something, she may have left something out. So what I would recommend is personally give the driver a call, go over the rate confirmation with that driver to make sure the driver is clear, make sure he has his pickup numbers, make sure he knows what time it picks up, if there's an appointment time, because everybody in the industry know if you do a load from Walmart and you miss your appointment time, then you may sit for a whole nother day, okay? Which will mess their revenue up for the week. So go over the rate confirmation, make sure the driver is clear and has all of the information. And then as the driver is up under your load, if there are any changes, that comes with the load, if your customer calls you and you need to update that driver on changes, just make sure that all parties are aware and just make sure that communication is very clear. Alrighty, and so the third thing is going to be integrity. They need to be able to trust you, so just make sure that you're trustworthy if you're out here doing business. And then another thing, you want to learn how you can actually help the carrier. How can you add value to their company? How can you help their business to succeed? So you basically want to, learn more about the carriers that are hauling the loads from you if you can. Okay. Also, make sure you show appreciation. A simple thank you goes a long way. And, just show them appreciation. Again, truckers are the backbone to this economy. I mean, everything that we utilize, we would not have if a trucker did not bring it to a store. Even if you order online, a truck still has to deliver to your house, whether it's UPS, Amazon, or what have you. okay? And again, you know, make sure you treat the carriers with respect at all times. And then let's say, for example, there was a load and it was could have been a difficult situation, and or it could have been a situation where you as a broker messed up. Let's say you forgot to include the appointment time, or you forgot to go over the rate confirmation, or just something that you did wrong on your end, and that carrier, you know, went above and beyond, he was patient, or whatever the case may have been. Just make sure that you know, you maybe show them a little bit of appreciation by sending them a gift card to their office, you know, or ordering a pizza or a lunch or something where you can send it to the office, but I would recommend a gift card. Okay. Next, we're going to actually talk about taking some action steps. So, for those of you who have a new brokerage, I really want you guys to try to go even further. A lot of the brokerages that are established, and let's say you have thousands of carriers, you may not be able to take much action. Okay. But if you're just starting out, you have a few carriers, ask the carrier if you could do a short ride along, you know. Especially, let's say they have a trip in your area and it's like 100 miles or less, they're possibly coming back. See if you can set that ride along up with the carriers. And if possible, go inside the warehouse. I want you to go inside the shipping and receiving. You basically want to take a walk in the carrier's shoes. You want to see what they go through on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So that way, when you're behind a computer desk and you're brokering out loads and brokering out freight, you can basically know, because you did the ride along, what these truckers have to go through every day. Okay. Also, you know, don't just post on the load boards. I mean, that's one way to move the freight, but actually build a relationship by utilizing the carriers in your network. You know, you can actually give them a phone call. Let's say you have the same lane available that ABC Trucking Company did a week ago. You know, give them a phone call and say, hey, you guys rent this lane for me. Would you be interested in doing it again? Maybe I can get you an extra $50 or whatever the case may be. You know, really build that relationship with the carriers that you already have in your network. Okay. And then also try to be patient. You know, in the trucking industry, it can get very stressful and frustrating, but please remember that these truckers have a lot of stress to deal with on a day-to-day basis. They have the traffic. They got to make sure they make these appointments on time, DOT, you know, so just make sure you're patient with them. And together, you know, you guys can make some money and move the freight. Okay. And then also remember that brokers cannot exist without truckers, you know, so it is that relationship that if you're a broker and you have freight, but you don't have a trucker to move that freight for you, you're not going to make any money. It doesn't matter how much freight you actually have to get this freight moved. Okay. And so that's basically how you make money. Hey guys, I hope this video helped you guys out. Before you leave, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, share the video on Facebook, follow us on social media, and we will see you guys on next Friday.